him, but that spirit was the protection of the progeny. Now I have children with no fathers, with no protection, with no warrior spirit, because the image of the black man today is effeminization. Only image of the black man that is respected is an effeminized image. They are intimidated by a warrior. A black man is a warrior that's sovereign, that's operating out of his own potency, of his spiritualization. They fear that black man. They're completely fear. But that is the energy that would not allow this European to walk over our community, to walk over our people, to kill our children without nothing happening to them, to just walk over our people. That spirit of that man is the one that would not allow that to happen. But it's warfare against him. Y'all know what I'm saying? Within his own household. It's warfare against him for being that man. Because their whole idea of materialism and capitalism is nothing but assimilation. It's nothing but following instructions and going along with people who have usurped the wealth. They took the wealth that they have from our ancestors, and now they want us to comply with them. Is this correct? Yes, sir. To get back what they stole from us, we must follow their instruction and go to their institutions. We should not somehow wake up and realize that this shit is really ours. Where did you get this from? They're not teaching you that in school, that this was actually ours. And even if you said ours, it's not ours. It definitely ain't yours, because your limited history said it belonged to the Native Americans. But now, in order for us to have free reign on this land, you're licensing us to do this and licensing us to do that, and you are not an authority. You have stolen. You are a thief, a vagabond, a homeless people. You have stolen this land, and now you're going to authorize how people travel and exist on this land, and say you got to work for me and get a job for me when you don't even have rightful ownership to the land that your corporation is even set up on. You are existing on stolen land. You are a thief. But now you must assimilate and go through him to get anything, to get a bite to eat. You got to go get a job from him, to travel to your own country, to leave this piece of garbage land. You got to get authorization from him. You need a passport. You need this, you need that. So it all is assimilation to him. So when a black man comes and become a warrior and say, I'm not bowing down to none of this garbage. This ain't your land. You ain't nobody. You ain't talking about nothing. When a black man comes with that attitude, they say, well, either one thing. You should assimilate, because that will be more beneficial. You should assimilate and go along with this. And you know, get a job and work along with this system. Or they say, you know, it's not intelligent for you to do this because, you know, he has all this power. The methodology that you're going about it, you don't have the power to override him. Now, what made him think that he had the power to come over here and override the Native Americans? Because realistically, the Native Americans were more stronger and knew the land better than he did. They had better summits and power over the animals. They knew how to talk to the horses and the birds and the animals. So this was more of their terrain than it was the Europeans. What gave the European courage? How rational was that to go up against some people who had mastered this damn land? How rational of a decision was that? Them, the Native Americans, was stronger physically, bigger physically. They was hunters. They wasn't, you know, off in Europe. These people were literally hunters on the land, living out in cold climates. The European would not even have knew how to survive over here had it not been for his relationship to the Europeans. So what gave these Europeans the courage to think that they was going to defeat these Native Americans and get the land from them?
The same thing with the economic hitmen, the same mentality. To go over in Guatemala and Ecuador and all those places and take over those governments. It's the same mentality.
So if he had the courage to take this land from them, why should we not have the courage to take our stuff back? It was irrational, once again, that I'm saying, for him to fight the Native Americans. That was an irrational battle. Your enemy is stronger, bigger than you, more equipped than you, knows the land better than you, and practice warfare. What made you think you can get them? The same thing that made them is the same thing that must be used against them to defeat them. Don't let the way their images and the way their false appearances look make them think that somehow they are stronger than us. So the fear tactic doesn't work. The fear strategy doesn't work. If we don't stand up against him, we will be annihilated. We will not live in the proverbial black paradise. There will be no black utopia. Do you feel what I'm making? If we don't stand up against him, we have no choice. If we don't stand up against him, we'll be pushed along anyway. We'll be herded along for him. They're building more and more institutions to put us in for stuff that we did not even do.
That's right.
Because they want to create a forced slave labor.
That's right.
If you want to apply, I'm going to put you into one of these institutions and make you work to build cars and build chairs and build this. You're going to work for me one way or the other. So the prison camps is the new form of slavery. It's the new form of justified slavery and off racial profiling. Oh, we just think you did it. And now you're in a debtor's prison, working for them for free as a slave who's forced to work for them. And just sitting on your ass, not even bothering nobody. They coming for you. You know what I'm saying? They're coming for the black man. 70% of black people are not in jail because they're revolutionaries. They're in jail because they were standing on their corner, because they were sitting on their porch at the wrong time. So just sitting around, they're coming for you, period. They're not in jail because they're Methuselah Shakors and they're Assata Shakors. That's not why they're sitting. They're sitting in jail because it's the whole mindset of the European to jail black people, to enslave. The same mindset that made him put us in chains and have hangings and lynchings. He still has that mindset. When he see a black man, he sees someone that must be imprisoned. He sees somebody that must be controlled, that must be degraded, must be demoralized, unless they will assimilate to his cultural framework of reality and put on their suit and tie and be an imitation of him. If you won't take that image, whatever other image other than that, you are a threat to him. Whatever other image that you take on other than complete assimilation to his society, you are an immediate threat. Whether it's blue jeans and a coat with a jersey on, whether it's fatigues with a military outfit on, whatever, whether it's a dashiki, whatever image you take on other than the image of his society that I'm an assimilated Negro, then he has war against you. If you don't look like Barack Obama today, then you must be a gangbanger. You must be somebody who's not, in alignment with our system. He let the Negroes slide because he's not worried about them. But anybody else that look any other different way, he treats them all the same. If you look at the prison, Dr. York is in the jail with the gang leaders. He's in jail with Jeff Ford, in jail with Larry Hoover, the head of the Latin Kings, in jail with Al-Qaeda. They're all the same. These revolutions, terrorists, gangbangers, it's all the same. You trying to do your own shit, you're not going along with me, and I'm the biggest terrorist who ever existed. I'm the real terrorist. I have terrorized the Native Americans. I constantly terrorize indigenous people all over the planet Earth. I'm the real terrorist. But you, who cannot, all the mass murderers of all the gang leaders, of all the Al-Qaedas, of all the terrorists, of all the mass murders of them, none of them would even meet 0.1% of the destruction and mayhem that the European has caused on the earth. So he is the real terrorist. He is the real offender. He is a sex offender. He is the real homosexual. He is the real lesbian. He's a real child abuser. He abused every child. He abused children so hard that they don't even exist on the planet anymore. Imagine that. He not only abused them, they're no longer here. Certain tribes of the Native American children cannot walk around and look at the plush green of the earth anymore. That's deeper than child abuse. He's practiced child destruction. Every time we send a child to school and they learn Columbus discovered America, that is child destruction. That is not child abuse. A child can heal from physical abuse, but when you destroy their mind, it's over with. The game is over with. So he needs to be tried for child destruction. He needs to be put on the stand and proven guilty for child destruction, for child obliteration, for child demolishment. You understand what I'm making? For child demolition. He needs to be held accountable for that. So the whole point that I'm making is the European, who is the real terrorist, gets off scot-free. We're going to Iraq and killing innocent people for oil, for his own materialistic and economic gain. He can do that. It's American patriotism. It's to spread democracy. But we try to set up our own government. We're gangs now. We set up our own government. We're terrorists now. We set up our own organization. It's RICO, racketeering and corrupt organizations. Whenever we say, we're not going to be under you, devil, we're doing our own goddamn thing. It's criminal to be a free black man today. Under any category that you do. It's criminal. It's criminalization. If you make money and you're successful as a black man, then now it's tax evasion. If you don't bow down to our corporation, you lose your goddamn job. You're still a criminal. You're fired.